So our vision at Pisces, transforming lives through healthy activity and sport. We work with thousands of people of all abilities and backgrounds, helping them lead healthy and active lives. The Canadian Sports School plays an important role in helping us strive for our vision. For those of you who have not been to Pisces, we have an amazing facility at the Camosun Interurban Campus in Victoria, with a highly skilled and passionate team delivering physical literacy enriched and sport performance-based training programs to the community. We're definitely a hub of activity and the go-to place for high-performance sport, training, and development. Pisces is a charitable nonprofit organization, which allows us to deliver affordable programming and also seek funding to help subsidize and deliver our programs. Okay. We have strong partnerships in education throughout our community. And we have many partnerships with the school districts 61, 62, and 63 in delivering our physical literacy programming at the elementary and middle school level. We have partnership with Camosun, a major tenant of ours that delivers Canadian sport, that delivers the Centre for Sport and Exercise education programs. And of course, the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific, who trains all of the Olympic, Paralympic level athletes in our country. So we're just so pleased to have the Canadian Sports School as part of Pisces. Just multitasking here, letting a few people in. And our program partners. So we're very pleased to have School District 62 as a partner. And education is a very important backbone of this program. We've enjoyed a strong partnership with Wayne Kelly and the Sault School District for many years, and they've really helped us make this program a success. Wayne Kelly is the principal of Sault Schools, and he's here this evening to talk a little bit about the educational side, but he's also going to speak about some important changes coming up next year in the delivery of the education piece. And the Canadian Sports School is a very well-established program led by the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific formerly. And we jumped at the opportunity to take over the operations of this program about 2 years ago. And it's a natural fit within our mandate of developing youth athletes along the performance pathway. And Dave Hill will be speaking a little bit in a few moments about our partnership. I always really like to show this slide. It's our current cohort of about 30 students that are currently in the Canadian Sports School. And they're all in grades 10, 11, and 12. And the sports that are represented are alpine skiing, basketball, cycling, fastball, field hockey, mountain biking enduro cyclocross, rowing, soccer, speed skating, swimming, and volleyball. And some of these students have primary and secondary sports. We also have the following schools represented. We have Belmont, Claremont, Discovery School, Francis Kelsey Secondary, Lambrick Park, Mount Doug, Oak Bay, Pacific Christian, Reynolds, Sides, Spectrum, St. Margaret's, and Stellies. So it's just a great group of students. I'm now pleased to introduce Wayne Kelly, and he's going to speak a little bit on the educational side of the program. Welcome, Wayne.
Thanks, Stacey. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Awesome. Thanks for having me on tonight, Stacey. It's been a really great the last 2 years working with Pisces and yourself and Robert Betauer on the last 2 years of the program. And just a little bit of a history. We worked on this program starting in about 2009, 2010. So we've been involved for quite a few years. And it was a partnership agreement, but it also involved our Lower Island 3 districts, Saanich, Victoria, and Sault School District. And at that time, it was agreed on that our Sault School District would take on, providing the teacher and the educational support with the understanding, as you'll see when you register, or if you do end up being as part of the program, is you don't have to leave your school district. And our school was able to cross enroll students so that they could get credit for some courses that are going to be delivered. And Martin will talk about those a little bit later, but it involves courses like your PE credit, of course, individual sports training, cross training, sports performance. We were also able to offer a couple of required ministry courses if students wanted to do them through our teachers, called Career Life Education and Career Life Connection. And then I believe it was about in 2015, some students were looking for an opportunity to take one of their core courses with us because they were finding it really difficult to take everything they wanted in just half of a school day at their home schools. And so we started offering English 10, 11, and 12, and that was very successful. And we continued to offer that right up until this year. So I'm not going to go too much further into that because I know that Martin, our teacher, has a number of slides where he's going to present the courses, and so I don't want to double up on that. But again, our role was to take on the educational part of it in the partnership, and deliver these courses so that they were, for the most part, other than the PE and the English, were elective credits, and the students were able to ensure that they had enough graduation credits at the end of grade 12. There are going, as Stacy mentioned, there are going to be some changes with the Ministry of Education. And again, I don't want to get into the all of the details around it, but basically what it means is that we will have to be bowing out of the educational part. But the good news is we've been in discussions with the Saanich School District and SIDES, which is their online school. And there's, we've been able to share with them the courses that we have, and we're going to hopefully ensure a very smooth transition. I know that they have a number of steps to go through in terms of informing their board, and those types of things, but we're quite positive about it. And I'm going to make sure that I even work past into September and through the year with any questions that comes. If Saanich is able to do this, they're going to be hopefully able to have a very easy transition into providing the teaching support and the course support that we've been having the students enjoy for the last 12 to 13 years. So without further keeping you from the rest of the PowerPoint, Stacey, I'm going to turn it back to you, but I will stick around in case there's any questions at the end. But also, parents are free to find my email and email me questions or give me a call. I'm on the Saanich School District website, and but I will stick around, and I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Wayne. It's now my pleasure to introduce David Hill from the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific. Dave has been an amazing resource to me and our entire sports school in the transition of Pisces taking on the sports school, and just always making sure that we have the right resources, the right expertise to ensure it's a success. So Dave, please join us.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah, it's great to be here and to be able to speak on behalf of the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific. I'll just get you to slide over to the next slide there, Stacey. So when we look at the Canadian Sport Institute network, we're one of 7 institutes nationally. And obviously in the province of BC, we have a very, very strong regional network of centers that help to support high performance sport in the province. And that's something that's very, very unique to British Columbia. And through that, we're able to offer the Canadian Sports School. So our role is really licensing the Canadian Sports School to Pisces and other regional centers where it's run. We do have 4 sports schools in the province. We have one in the Okanagan and 2 in the north, one in Prince George and one in Smithers. However, the original sports school was in Victoria, and we really worked closely with Wayne in setting that up quite a long time ago. So we've got a great facility out of Pisces where we're able to offer the Canadian Sports School. The model is tremendous. I know Lindsay will probably be talking to many of you about that, with the fact that a student can actually still maintain that connection with their home school. But what we did was establish a curriculum where we felt that it was important for students to have supplemental sort of physical skills that would supplement their sport-specific training. And the program that you'll hear about tonight is really about gymnastics, speed, and strength training. And in my mind, I mean, it really is a great program for athletes to learn how to train, but also to become a real performance athlete. Go over to the next slide. You know, we're always excited about the students that have gone through the sports school, and many of them convert up the pathway, and that's something that we're very involved in as the Canadian Sport Institute in the province of BC. We work with all provincial sport organizations to target athletes, and we track that through the Canadian Sports School. Many of the alumni also go on to U Sport or NCAA. In fact, there's a very high conversion of athletes that move into university or post-secondary education. And since its inception, you know, we've had over 300 athletes go through the sports school, and 32 different sports represented. I also wanted just to say that, you know, last year we started offering the sports school graduation certificate, and we put some criteria around that. So we're really excited to have 9 of those students graduate from the sports school last year, and about 50% of those athletes have converted up into their provincial programs. So that's nice to see. And we'll go to the last slide just to point out that, you know, at the pinnacle of the pathway is Olympic and Paralympic success. And, you know, we've been very, very fortunate to have had some students have the opportunity to move into Olympic or Paralympic programming, or even national team. So it's a great opportunity, I think, for a lot of parents to provide to your kids. I know my son isn't old enough to go into the sports school yet, but it is something that we're eyeing in the next few years as he progresses through his schooling. So thanks, Stacy. That's all for me, and looking forward to the rest of the presentation.
Thanks, Dave. Just trying to find myself here. Oh, great. Okay. Thank you, Dave. So a little bit about what's happening tonight. We're going to give you a little bit of background, which you've already received some on the sports school. Lindsay Link, our coach, is going to speak about the Ignite Athlete Development Program. Martin will speak about the academic side, the educational side. I'll speak a little bit about the application information, and then we'll have time for questions. But throughout all of this, we will be having our athlete panels, where we'll have the student athletes share a little bit about their stories with the Canadian Sports School, which is really the best part. So the program pillars, there's 4 main pillars, which are the sport performance seminars. Martin, the teacher, organizes these and has guest speakers come in to share their knowledge and insight with the students. And many of these are staff from Canadian Sport Institute Pacific and the general community, sporting community around us. The Ignite Athlete Development Program is actually essentially the strength and conditioning, sprint training, and gymnastic movement aspect of the program. Independent study blocks, where students have time, some quiet time to study and do their catch up on homework and prepare for their courses. And then a great benefit is that students receive credit for their sports-specific training. So they get credits for actually playing their sport, and that also frees up time for their extra studies and training. What does the weekly schedule look like? So Mondays currently are seminars and a speed session at Pisces. Tuesdays are a strength session and a study block. Wednesdays are gymnastics, which take place at Inspire Sports. Thursdays are strength session number 2 and a study block at Pisces. And then there's no sports school on Fridays. We do have some very few students that do sometimes do a flex training day on Fridays. And I just wanted to speak a little bit about the AM and PM cohorts. So students will choose whether to come to Pisces in the morning or the afternoon. And this is a wonderful, unique aspect of the program where it allows students to still graduate at their local high school and do their core courses at their own high school. So they graduate with their peers, and then they also have an amazing cohort with the Canadian Sports School. So it really is a special program that way compared to many academy programs. And I just wanted to as well speak a little bit about the progression of the program, because we have students that enter in grade 10 and many will stay through to grade 12. And you probably ask, well, how does it change from year to year? Well, the Ignite training program is progressive. So year 1 students will start with the year 1 training plan. Lindsay will speak a little bit about that, and they'll progress to year 2 and year 3. And then the education also builds on the past years. While some of the seminars may have similar speakers, they can adjust knowing that there's repeat students, and the assignments can be a little bit more in scope for the students that have already gone through those subjects. So it really does develop on past years. And we're really fortunate that CSI Pacific is developing year 1, year 2, and year 3 resources for the teachers to support them in that progression of the program. And I'll just give you a moment here to look at the timetable. This is a sample of what our timetable looks like this year. And you can see the AM cohort and PM cohort. So the morning starts at 8 and ends at 11, and that gives time for students to travel back to their high school. And then the afternoon starts at 12:45 and ends at 3:30. And you can also view this on our website. It's now my pleasure to introduce Lindsay Link and Martin Hoff, our sports school coach and teacher. So I'll just tell you a little bit about them. Lindsay joined the Canadian Sports School this year as our head coach, and she's spent the past 12 years though with Pisces, and started her career working with a multitude of young athletes who went on to have successful careers at the college, world, and Olympic level. Even better, Lindsay saw these athletes develop a love for strength and conditioning that continued past their competitive days. Lindsay holds a BSc with a double major in political science and kinesiology, and a number of certifications in strength and conditioning coaching that I'm not going to list, but you will see those. And she was also a member of the Canadian national rowing team. So she brings a great wealth of experience and perspective as a high performance athlete. And of special note, she's a proud mom of Lily and TJ. So she also brings that parenting perspective. And she's just been a wonderful addition to the program. And I know the students and athletes think so too. And Martin is our teacher. He's been with us for 2 years. And after several years teaching a variety of subjects, he's landed at the sports school and brings his experience in physical education and his great enthusiasm for sport and health. Martin was born and raised on Vancouver Island, and he adopted a West Coast lifestyle that includes sailing, hiking, skiing, and surfing. We've really enjoyed Martin's contributions to the sports school, and he always tells me how much it's such a pleasure working with all of the students, and just how impressed he is by their attitudes and their work ethic. So welcome, Lindsay and Martin. And Lindsay is now going to tell us some background about the program.
Okay, can you hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me.
Yes.
I like that from Wayne. Hi, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here in my first year as the lead coach of the sports school. I'm having the best time ever. That was my bio. Stacey said stuff. Moving on. Okay, so I would like to talk about sort of a little more of the overarching kind of the background of sports school, things that I find quite unique about it. One is that, as Dave mentioned, we are partners with the Canadian Sport Institute Pacific. And so every day, high school athletes have the opportunity to see what high performance athletes look like, because every day some group of athletes are there training, and it's really unique to come to school essentially and watch Olympians practice and how they carry themselves, how they act, how they're respectful to one another. That's very unique. And then of course with the seminars, having the same dietitians who work with our national teams are coming in and talking to these young athletes about how to eat, and same with mental training. It's just, these are things that, most athletes won't learn until they're in high performance. And so to have the opportunity to learn them early is, it's amazing. Training with fellow athletes is quite unique. Normally you'll see, soccer players hang out with soccer players and rowers hang out with rowers and so on and so forth. And this is really neat because you have athletes coming in from all sports and all grades, and they're all together and they're all friends and they're encouraging one another and excited for one another. And there's just great friendships at sports school. And the last thing would be the IST. So sort of part of that high performance culture I talked about, where we have the best in the country, perhaps in the world, exercise physiologists, again, dietitians, strength and conditioning coaches are all right there in the building. And it's a wonderful place to train. And there's a little gymnastics montage. So this is what we've done this year over at Inspire. So some balance, landing, learning to land off a box. Oh yeah, front flips, super fun. Rolls, trampoline, that's Finley, she's in year 2. That girl there, she'd never done a roll before. It was the best day of her life. She was so happy about that. Awesome. Okay, now I have the great pleasure of introducing one of our students this year. Sophia Isbister is in grade 10 at Discovery School. It's her first year at sports school, and her sports are soccer and Olympic weightlifting. And Sophia, I will let you talk about culture.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Can you hear me?
You're good?
Yeah, perfect. Thanks. So my name is Sophia Isbister. This is my first year at Canadian Sports School, and my sport is soccer and Olympic weightlifting. Canadian Sports School has been such an amazing opportunity in my life. The people I've met and the experiences I've been through will forever stick with me. The Pisces staff, coach, and teacher that I see every day are amazing. Lindsay, who, as you know, is the head coach, is the best coach I have ever had. She's the nicest, sweetest, most polite, and as Stacey said, she's a mother and she's like a mom to me. And I'm forever grateful to have her as a coach and to go through the process of being an elite athlete with her. Martin is the best teacher. He's the nicest, very supportive, and he knows like a teacher. So it's great going and trying to go for collegiate soccer, and he's very supportive and he will do everything in his power to get you there. The classmates I've met and all the athletes are amazing. We are all in different sports, which is very nice, and we're all different ages. Like one of my good friends, she just got a scholarship to Utah State, and it's just seeing everyone, how they improved. It's just amazing. We all support each other, and it's just, we're all one big happy family, which I am grateful for. The environment is amazing, positive. The staff and people I've met, like, I want them to be in my life forever. I am forever grateful to be part of this program, and I can't wait to see who comes in the fall to meet new people and to graduate from Canadian Sports School. Thank you.
Oh, well, that was lovely. Thanks, Sophia. Okay. And we have another speaker, Alex Barley. Alex is in her 3rd year of sports school. She is in grade 12. She did her 10, 11, 12 grades at sports school. She's at Spectrum High School, and her sports are soccer and track and field. And she will also be talking about culture at sports school.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Alex Barley, and my sports are track and field and soccer, as Lindsay said. I'm also in my 3rd and my final year at Canadian Sports School. And I honestly can't even begin to explain what CSS has done for me, both as an athlete and as a person. For me, being around like-minded athletes every day has helped me in the classroom, on the field, and just in my every single day life, just developing me as a person and an individual. So sports school has not only provided me with a competitive environment to train, but also a great opportunity for me to make lifelong friends. And to me, sports school is just like my family. And I'm so grateful that I get to train with people of all different sports every single day. So the diversity of our skill sets helps us constantly push each other and encourage each other in the gym, at gymnastics, or at 8 a.m. on Monday morning when we're sprinting outside in the rain. I honestly can't imagine my high school life without sports school. It's honestly always the highlight of my day, and I always have a big smile on my face when I'm leaving the facility. The support that I've been provided over the past 3 years is incredible, and sports school is such a supporting and positive environment, which makes everybody feel so welcome, no matter what sport they're in. And both Lindsay and Martin have both created such a beautiful environment for everyone to succeed, as well as have so much fun. And they've both helped me more than I can honestly explain. So I'm very thankful for that. And seeing my friends and coaches every single day and working hard together and just kind of working all towards our goals is just something that sports school has provided me. And I would have never had that if I didn't decide to choose sports school. So I think I will always be grateful for that decision.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. That was lovely. Wonderful. Okay, now I would like to get into the sort of nitty-gritty of the Ignite curriculum. So the sport program that we'd introduced, the strength training, gymnastics, and speed work. So here they are, the 3 pillars of the program. Yeah, strength training in the gym twice a week. We get the entire gym to ourselves. The fitness center is reserved for sports school. So we have everything that we need and then some. So that's Tuesdays and Thursdays. The speed training is on Mondays, Mondays. And then gymnastics is at Inspire Wednesdays with a gymnastics coach. Strength training is, it can't be understated how great it is for not only for athletes, but just humans in general. Strength is the thing that makes everything else better. The stronger you are, the more powerful you are with running, the more watts you can pull, the healthier your joints and tendons and muscles. And it's a huge component of the program. That's the twice per week. And not only do we strength train, so you can see Olympic lifting is one of the components of it. That's a major part of the program, but I modify it depending on what the needs of the athlete are. And it's also a great opportunity to see gives me the time and space to check in with athletes and see what's going on, and we can modify the program just to, get out of injury, prevent injury, keep them robust and active in their sports for life. Gymnastics. So we do have a coach who's there, and she's phenomenal. She's been in gymnastics coaching for many, many years. She was a high performance gymnast herself. Gymnastics is really wonderful because it just gives athletes the time to spend an hour and a half doing body weight movements. We do a lot of stretching there, a lot of mobility. It's really great for athletes to train it's good for all the range of motion. So someone who, whether you do a linear sport or you're cutting and doing something multi-directional, either way, gymnastics gives the athletes the opportunity to get moving all the different ways that you can move and learn to fall and learn to land and learn to, how to plank and how to hollow. And you know what? It's really, really, really fun. Perfect. And then speed. So speed is all about running mechanics. We spend a lot of time just talking about form and run form. All the mobility, all the joint range of motion that helps helps athletes accelerate and achieve high speed. Very rarely do we actually, we never do workouts. Sometimes we'll do strides, but we're very cognizant of the fact that these athletes are training a lot, some of them. And so we try to keep the quality very, very high and the quantity quite low. Okay, and then we do have testing. We do it 4 times a year. Testing matters because it gives information to both the athletes and the coaches. So athletes, it's very motivating to see yourself improve. And if we don't see improvements in the athletes, it tells me that something might need to be modified for that particular individual. So anthropometrics is just a fancy way of talking about height, weight, and wingspan. Speed, we do a 30-meter sprint test 4 times a year with a 10-meter split. And the power and strength is measured in a counter movement vertical jump test. And then reports are sent to athletes following testing so they can track their progress. So are you a good fit for sports school? Will you relentlessly pursue excellence? My thumbnail, there we go. In the high performance pathway. Do you want to be a future Olympian, Paralympian, or national team member? Are you interested in becoming a better and more well-rounded athlete? And do you want to be around like-minded athletes in a high performance environment? And if so, you are a good fit for our program. Important to note, I just want to say this from the get-go, is that we really want to emphasize in the first year and 2 years, fundamental movements that matter for all human beings. And things are like just good squat mechanics, lunge mechanics, deadlift mechanics, shoulder health, all those things. That comes first in the year 1 and year 2. And once athletes progress to year 3, then we can get that's when we like to get quite sport specific, because now we're thinking, okay, you're in your 3rd year, you're in grade 12, you're going on to college, or you're going on to play pro or what have you. Let's get you really, really ready for your sport now that you're really, really strong in these fundamentals. So I just want to make that clear from the outset. Okay, now I have the great pleasure of introducing another student, Aiden Ryder. Aiden is also a first year in sports school this year. He is in grade 11 at Reynolds. And Aiden's sports are volleyball and soccer. So welcome, Aiden. There he is. We can see you.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Perfect. So hi, my name is Aiden. I'm in my first year at sports school and my main sport is soccer. Sports school has been such a great experience so far and I've made so much progress as an athlete. Sports school has helped me create so many good habits such as a better sleep schedule and a more consistent strength training program. Every day that we have sports school, whether it be sprinting, lifting, or gymnastics, I'm always looking forward to pushing myself and the other athletes to do the best that we can. Sports school has made my grade 11 year so much better because I'm always in a better mood in the afternoons after I've had a great workout in the morning. This has helped me excel in my academic classes while also being able to put in as much time as I can into becoming a better athlete. Personally, my favorite part of the week is sprint training on Monday. During sprinting, we do lots of drills to help us with our form, top speed, and our acceleration. My favorite activity within the sprint training is when we test our 30-meter sprints. I enjoy pushing myself to try and improve my time as much as possible, and since September, I've cut off around half a second of my 30-meter time. I'm very excited to continue my time at sports school, and I'm very thankful for all the hard work that Martin and Lindsay put into the program every day. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Aiden. Okay, and then we have another athlete to speak on the Ignite program, and that will be Logan. Logan Hennessy is in grade 10 and he's at Claremont High School, and Logan's sport is volleyball.
Can you hear me?
Hi, Logan.
Hi. Hi, my name is Logan. I'm in my first year and my primary sport is volleyball. Today I'll be talking about the Ignite program here at Sports School. The Ignite program is one of my best parts of sports school, and it will help improve agility, strength, and technique and balance. Since September, I've noticed many improvements in my speed, strength, and ability to try new things. With the Ignite program comes special opportunities like being able to work in a gymnastics facility once a week or using specialized equipment not available in regular gyms. Being around the other athletes creates a bit of competition, which helps me work harder to succeed. One of my favorite things is having a programmed workout for lifting every Tuesday and Thursday. It helps my ability to focus on the workout rather than on how many sets or reps to do. The programs are carefully thought out to help us learn proper form, and we typically have 1 or 2 workouts that will carry on for a few months, which then builds by adding other exercises that focus on different important muscle groups. Overall, I really enjoy sports school and all the coaches, and I look forward to seeing new athletes next year.
Awesome. Thanks, Logan. Okay, that's it for me. Back to you, Stacy.
Thanks, Lindsay. Thank you, Logan and Aiden. That was great. I'm now really pleased to introduce Martin Hoff, the teacher of the program, and he's going to take you through the educational component. Welcome, Martin.
Thanks very much, Stacy, and good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to our info night. Hopefully we can clear up some questions for you and give you some info. So a little bit about the academic breakdown. You'll see here on our little sheet there, you're going to earn credits for certain CSS courses. You're going to earn credits for your PE. You're going to earn elective credits through participating in IST and CT. That's individual sport training and cross training. A cool thing about the program is that you have the option to take English online. But the beauty is that a teacher is in the room once a week and can help students with assignments along the way and with planning. There's also the option to take careers courses with us. That includes Career Life Ed, as well as Career Life Connections, which is a grad requirement. Great, next slide, thank you. Okay, so here's the suite of courses that you'll take here with us. First one is individual sport training. Credit is earned for this course through participating in your community sport. And we receive evaluations from your coaches throughout the year. Your coaches let us know, and also you, the athlete, know what your strengths are, what you need to work on, and what CSS can do to enhance that. We also have a sport performance course. If you can go to the next slide, thank you. Sport performance course, which consists of weekly seminars. So that's every week on Mondays. We have folks in the community come in, mental performance coaches, physiologists, trainers, dietitians, like we mentioned earlier, and also folks from here in the building at CSI. So it's a real treat. You can see the topics there that we cover, and it's, I think, one of the best parts of the program. Like I said, credit is earned for PE, that's physical and health education, 10, active living 11, 12 for our senior students, as well as cross training 10, 11, 12. So credit is earned there through participating in the Ignite training with Lindsay, as well as through our seminars. Lastly, we have, like I mentioned, Career Life Ed, Career Life Connections, which includes the Capstone Project, and Leadership 11. And as I touched on earlier, there's an optional English course. If you'd like to take it with us, you enroll in English 10, 11, or 12. A teacher this year, it's Larry Bowen, comes in once a week and helps students with their assignments. He also can be reached through email. So it's a great way to get that English done and keep it off of your timetable to free up time for other things. Yeah, in our classroom, as you can see in the photo, we do homework. It's where our seminars take place. We do some goal setting, watch some videos, share experiences. And we are in there on Tuesdays, Thursdays for an hour and a half as a study block, as well as in Mondays for our seminars. and the occasional Friday for students who like to come in for a flex day. Okay, so some benefits of coming to CSS. On the academic side, you get support from a teacher as well as peers. It's a smaller group, so the ratio is a little bit better in terms of teacher to student. You should have less homework if you're able to stay on top of things and create a schedule for yourself, which hopefully leads to more sleep and time to recover and time to train. So with this balance comes less stress, and yeah, like you said, academic credits you earn for seminars, training, and your community training as well. So we keep a pretty high standard in terms of work habits. You must have E's or G's, that's excellent or good, as a work habit mark on your most recent report card. We like to ensure that to keep a good high standard here. If you do not meet the standard, you might just be accepted conditionally, and then given some motivation to improve that for the rest of the term. Some tips for success: be proactive and communicate. Reach out to your teacher, reach out to your coach. If you are going to be absent, if you need help, don't let things drag on, as that's when problems seem to arise. Discuss your CSS, our CSS standards with your teachers so they know what to be looking for in the semester leading up to coming to CSS. And yeah, get clarity on their expectations so you know how to achieve those E's and G's in every course. And check in regularly with your teacher, with your admin, to make sure that you're on course or on track, I suppose, to have all your credits line up. So are you a good fit academically? Are you independently driven? If you're someone who needs a lot of nudging, a lot of reminding, you might need to work on that. There's a lot of self-direction in here, so hopefully you're independently driven. Are you responsible? Do you take responsibility for your work? Do you show up on time? Do you commit? That's a great sign for CSS. Are you self-disciplined and hardworking? Do you come here because you want to be here? That's what we want. Okay, so leading up to next year, what do you have to do? Well, the first step when it comes to course selection should be to block your courses together. Those are your core courses. So say math and physics 11, for example, you're going to want to chunk that in one half of your day. Okay, that way, if you get accepted into CSS, you can achieve those credits for your core courses, and then also come to CSS with no damage done for losing those core courses. Fill the other half of the day with your electives in case you need to drop them when you get accepted. Yeah, as Stacy mentioned earlier, indicate if you want to be in the morning or the afternoon. Really think about when your practices are and transportation before you select that. And staple a counselor letter, which we will give you from PICE, to your selection form. So we have sort of approval from your counselor, and so they know what you're up to and what your goals are in terms of coming to CSS. Okay, so that's enough from me. Now we get to hear from another student. This time it is Tristan Chang. He's in grade 11. He is enrolled at Sides, and he's a rower. He's going to tell you a little bit about the academic side of things right about now. Take it away, Tristan.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? All right, thank you. My name is Tristan Chang. I am in grade 11 and a full-time student at South Island Distance Education School. My sport is rowing, and this is my first year at the Canadian Sports School. After our workouts, we're given a dedicated independent study block where we are given access to a calm environment and classroom computers where we can work. I can confidently say that this study block helps me set my school day straight and set it on a good note, which always helps. Another thing sports school offers is in the classroom is an English course, an online English course. And although I didn't take English throughout sports school, it offers a lot of other students opportunities to schedule their own time appropriately and with a straightforward teaching environment, as well as the ability to set their own pace throughout the school year. Um, in addition to our study blocks, we also have seminars on Mondays where nutritionists, Olympians, sports psychologists, and mental performance consultants, among other things, help us teach us about our sport and our minds. I really enjoy these, and I found them really helpful when I'm on the lake or doing any other sport activity. Sports psychology in particular is a field I really enjoy studying. The seminars that we have on sports psychology have touched on helpful tactics like visualization, the optimal excitement bell curve, and the power of routines. We are also given opportunities for help with provincial numeracy and literacy assessments, as well as help for sourcing scholarship opportunities and many other helpful things for setting yourself up for post-secondary applications. I think Martin touched on that earlier. As a primarily online student, I find the classroom to be really helpful when I need help from a peer or even just as a social environment. It's calm, quiet, and we always work to lift each other up. The one thing I would say sticks out most about the classroom is the friendships built and connections I've made.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Tristan. We're going to move along to Kimberly Chen. Kimberly is in grade 11 at Oak Bay. This is her second year at CSS, and she is a cyclist. Kimberly, go ahead.
Hello. Yeah, so this is my second year in sports school, and I think academically the biggest thing that has helped me significantly is that balance between training and school. And so because with sports school, I have the ability to really focus on those core courses that I need for graduation, but also for post-secondary. For example, I'm thinking of going into a kinesiology degree, and so I have to take a lot more sciences, but I also have to be able to maintain a very high average grade. And with the study block attached to the training in sports school, I have been able to get a lot more work done in the day. And that's a lot less stress in the evening, especially if I get home very late from training. Even if I have an hour or an hour and a half, I'm very tired, and it's just very difficult to get work done at that time of day. And so just having knowing that I have the opportunity in the daytime to work on schoolwork is really helpful. And I think that just being in an environment where everyone is a student athlete who's very hardworking and very motivated, it has really encouraged me to also strive for that level of excellency. And it's just everything kind of comes together and helps me achieve goals on the bike and also in school. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kimberly and Martin. So the next steps, how do you apply to the Canadian Sports School? So you can visit our website. If you just Google PICE Canadian Sports School, starting on March 1st, we will open the applications. And there's a button there that says apply now. And there is an application online that you will fill in. You do need to get a reference from a coach and teacher. And that actually is currently open. So you can start that process right now to get references if you'd like. So the applications, as I said, open March 1st, and I'll give you an idea of the timeline here. So we do have an early bird deadline this year to get your application in. This helps us with planning to get early applications. So if you can get your application in by April 7th, there is a $250 savings on the tuition fee. Applications will then close on April 30th. And we will start interviews in May. Depending if we get enough applications in April, we will start interviewing in April just to start the process. And we'll be able to give acceptance notifications in late May, early June. Oh, that slide came up again. So again, you need to get your athletic. I'm just going to pass this because I think Martin already went over this. So for application, ask questions. Please feel free to reach out to me or Lindsay or Martin if you have any questions. The application should be student and athlete driven, not written by the parents, but certainly supported by the parents. You need to understand your sport pathway. And check your emails. I know sometimes students aren't on their emails regularly, but we will be communicating with you on your applications over emails. So be sure to keep an eye on them. And tuition. So the tuition for the next school year will be $3,500, and there's a deposit that's non-refundable on acceptance of $350. As I mentioned, early bird applications received by April 7th will receive $250 off tuition for next year. And as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, PICE is, we're able to do fundraising and get grants. And so we're able to keep the program cost really as low as possible. But we do have to increase it a little bit each year. But we really estimate, for the training that you're getting, it's about $7,500 a year. If you think about the amount of training and educational support that you get, it's a very valuable program. And it's really important to note that no student will be turned away for financial reasons. So please reach out to me confidentially once the selection process takes place, and we can work to find some donation funds that will help support the students. So that's really important that we make this program inclusive and break down barriers for all students. Another important note is that transportation is the responsibilities of students and their families. We cannot provide the transportation. So that's just an important consideration for your family when you're thinking about getting students to and from PICE and their school. Just like to mention that. And you can check out our website for more photos and information on our facility. And this year, we'd also really like to open up visits to prospective students. So if you're interested in coming to PICE to check out what the program looks like, we're opening up Mondays and Tuesdays during Canadian Sports School time for some student athletes to stop by and meet our teacher and coach and see the students in action. So please reach out to us if that's of interest. And this really concludes our presentation tonight. And we just really want to thank everyone for attending, and thank you to all of our speakers, and particularly to our students who just can really speak from the heart and tell you what their experience is. I'd now like to open the floor for questions, so please feel free to ask. We will be putting this video presentation up on our website probably by next week, and so that you can review it again if you like, or share it with others. Just give it a moment if anyone has questions. Oh, how many applications do you typically get? I'm going to say we get 30 to 40, and there are some students that apply, and we find that they're probably just not the right fit, and then others are. So we accept 30 students, and we like to have a full roster, so we hope for that in the fall. How many spots will be opening up next year? That is a difficult question. We have a number of grade 10 and 11 students in the program, and we don't know yet if they're returning. They will also be reapplying, although the reapplication process is much simpler if you're reapplying. And so we'll know probably by mid-April how many students are returning. I would say it's a good chance of 50% new, 50 returning. Class size of the morning and afternoon. So ideally we have 15 in the morning and 15 in the afternoon. So we do want people to get their requests in as early as possible so that we can accommodate that. This year we ran into a challenge where we had a number of students requesting the morning, so we had to split the group, but we really want to stay away from that just due to facility space and coaching and teaching. Is there a maximum per sport you accept? I'm not quite sure I understand that Some students have multiple sports, so that is acceptable, if that's the question. A student can enter in either grade 10 or grade 11 or grade 12. If they enter in grade 11, for example, they would start on the year 1 of the training program. But yes, all grades are welcome. What does the support look like for students who want to play sport in post-secondary and attract recruiters? So the sports school will work with students on to find application opportunities and to get information to recruiters. Guest speakers can help with that. Is it possible for a student from Claremont Sports Institute rowing to attend the sports school? The rowing starts at 2 p.m. and counts as an elective and PE credit. I think it would be best for you to reach out to me directly so we can talk that through. I suppose we just need to make sure there's enough time for the students to get their core courses in at their home school. So if they were just, yeah, let's talk about it. Just reach out to me directly.
And Stacey, I just wanted to say about the support for students who want to play sport post-secondary and recruiters. So I've taken videos of athletes before to put on their profiles, and Martin supported athletes. Martin, you might want to speak to that, but with the recruiting process for schools also. What we do, that's a big part of what we do.
Yeah, just sort of on an as-need basis for our senior students or some certain grade 11 students. Yeah, we'll help with compiling footage or reaching out to schools, but yeah, it's on like an as-need basis.
Thank you. I'm just making sure I haven't missed any questions. I think we've got them all, unless anyone has anything else to add.
Question about how many sports would you accept might have been related to would you, for example, have, allow 10 basketball players to attend? And, I can just comment on that. There was one year, one of the local high schools wanted about, I think we had 7 or 8 of their players from the team attend sports school together. And so they arranged a schedule so they could all be there for the training. And I could tell you they did very well that year. So no, I don't think there's a limit. I think what you're always looking for is the fit with that athlete. So if that helps answer the question from the parent, if we're looking for 2 volleyball players, 3 soccer players, that sort of thing.
Thank you, Wayne. That's very helpful.
And then I think I could maybe, if it's okay, to comment about the parent or the student who had a question about Claremont. And it would be really important to look at your schedule with the counselor at your home school and tell them, that you're interested in attending sports school, and, do an example with them. Say, well, if I attended in the morning and I could only come to Claremont in the afternoon, or vice versa, would that work with your rowing commitment in the afternoon? And you really want to benefit from the training, but you want to make sure that there's enough time in your schedule to complete your core courses. So your academic advisor at Claremont will be able to help answer those questions for you. You will get plenty of elective credits, and then if they need to connect, they could either connect with myself, but with Martin, to look at the different courses and the number of graduation credits that they generate. So hopefully that helped answer that part.
That's great. Thank you. Well, thank you, everyone. It's just been really great having all of you attend and learn more about the Canadian Sports School. So this concludes our meeting, and we look forward to seeing some applications come in. Again, please reach out if you need anything or have any questions. Thanks, everyone. Good night.